Welcome back. I've got a very brief take for you. I title it State-Sponsored Terrorism Against Rule of Law. Ashaiman, State-Sponsored Terrorism Against Rule of Law. As we know, and more particularly lawyers, when we say a democracy is a democracy of the rule of law, what we mean is very simple, and it is found in the Constitution of Ghana. That all are equal in essence before the law, and that if someone does wrong or is suspected of doing wrong, they will not be shot. They will not be beaten. But they will be arrested. When they are arrested, the Constitution commands in Article 14 that they should be told in a language that they understand. Because they are human beings, they are not animals. And because the people arresting them are humans and not animals, whilst effecting the arrest, they must tell them in a language that they understand why they are being arrested, the reason for which they are being arrested. And they must in addition tell them that they have a right to be silent, or anything that they say during that process could be used against them in a court of law. The Constitution commands further that they ought to be told of their right to a lawyer of their choice, because the processes that they are going to go through once they are arrested, they are legal, and not everybody is trained as a lawyer. So the reason they are lawyers is that they should help in such processes. Now, our same law, the Constitution, which is the ultimate, the supreme law of the land, says all persons are presumed innocent if you are suspected of anything, or even where you have been charged. You've been arrested and you have been charged for a crime. The law says you are presumed to be innocent until and unless a court, not a soldier, not a police officer, not even the president, determines that you are guilty, or you yourself, once you appear before the court, you admit and confess that you are guilty. Even that, if it's a case of murder, you will say you are guilty, but the law requires that mandatorily you should not be pronounced guilty and sentenced, convicted and sentenced, but you must be given a lawyer if you don't have one by the state. So you go through the process and the matter is determined on its merit before you are convicted and sentenced. This is what Ghana has given itself. And this is why we are called a democracy. When the military begin on suspicion to go to a town, to go to Tulaku, to go to Ashaiman, to pick people at random, stop cars on the road, move people out of them, hit and whip them. They have blood all over them. They have bruises all over them. That is not a democracy. And those presiding over the helm, the realm, if they want the Committee of Nations and the world to take Ghana serious, they must speak up. They must denounce this dastardly unthinkable conduct where human beings are treated like animals because they are suspected of killing a soldier. It must never happen that any citizen will lift their finger on anybody, not even people in uniform, not on anybody. But when such things do happen, due process must be allowed. Let the police go in and do just as they have done. They have their excesses, but see the professionalism by which they went through this process. You picked almost 200 people, whipped them, brutalized them. You have released all of them, meaning none is guilty of what you claimed. Our laws say we prefer that even a person charged with a criminal offense, in the circumstance where we are not sure, it is better that 100 guilty persons should escape than one innocent person should suffer. This morning, I joined Occupy Ghana, I joined the CDD Ghana to ask that all those officers who were involved in this act must be brought to book. All those at the helm, high command, must be brought to book if they are not resigning yet. And the president must tell the world where he stands. The people must be compensated sufficiently, and if possible, not by using state funds, because what happened is unlawful. That's my take. Thank you very much. Now, let me introduce my guest as we begin to get into the matters that we are discussing this morning. My guests this morning are Andrew Ejapa-Mensah, he's MP, 2nd D and Deputy Minister for Energy. Dr. Theo Champong is economist and political risk analyst. Godwin Eduji Tameklo is legal and communications team member of the National Democratic Congress. And as I told you, just hang in there. Don't move anywhere, because I have a team that will digest the judgment of the court that pronounces Anas Arameyao Anas an investigative terrorist. And we'll ask the question, is it fair that some people in the public, as you check on Twitter, on social media, how we're using this case to bastardize the judiciary? Is it fair? And the celebration by those who are celebrating, should it continue? And what is the purpose of that? So, this program, as always, is brought to you by Bank of Africa, strong as a group and close as a partner. MTN, everywhere you go. Ashaiman University, educating ethical and entrepreneurial leaders for Africa. Robert & Sons Optical Services, your comprehensive eye care service provider for 31 years. My Way Insurance, dial *165# on MTN to join. Duraplast, how you get your water matters. Remember, where Duraplast goes, water flows. DBS Industries, roofing Papa Fie, and Rehoboth Social Housing. Your housing dreams become reality. We'll be right back.